All righty. Okay. So we continue with the Mimer, Citic Discourse, the Ata Israel, and now Israel, what does God ask of you? Only to fear him. As we explained, the Talmud tells us that the word ma, what, is can is explained or is interchanged the word from meya, spelled the same with an additional letter aleph. So what is God asking for you? 100. 100 blessings every day. What's the relationship between the what and 100? They seem to be opposite ideas. One small, one large. Uh, Furthermore, the Talmud tells us that this was something that King David, in his day, there were 100 people dying every day, and they couldn't understand why, the spiritual reason for it, and how to fix it spiritually. So they recognized that they needed 100 blessings to counter the 100 deaths a day. They learned from a different verse. Um, or our sages learned from a different verse than this one that we in our Torah portion. So our Torah portion is only what we call an asmachta. It's sort of a secondary kind of not a proof to something, but a I find the right word, a an indicator, but not a proof. So the 100 blessings only came sometime in the times of King David, but not before that. That we should make 100 blessings a day. So if we look at the verse in our Torah portion, it says not only to fear God but to love God also. So why wouldn't the 100 blessings be an expression of loving God? And that should have been something instituted generations beforehand, as it's a vehicle to express one's love. Okay, so we'll understand all of this based on understanding that which are the Rebbeim, our Rebbes in previous generations also um, uh, spoke about this, the idea of blessings. So, what is a blessing? What does it mean exactly? Right. So, in Tehillim and Psalms, Psalm 41, it says, Baruch min ha'olam v'ad ha'olam, blessed from world to world. What does that mean? From world to world? It means that a blessing is an idea of drawing down from the higher world, excuse me, from a higher world that's hidden. In other words, the godliness is is beyond, and bringing it and drawing it down into a revealed world. And what does that mean? It means, in other terms, when we speak about spheres, the divine attributes of God, so the hidden world refers to Bina. God's name, the He in God's name, Bina. These two letters are the hidden world, and these two letters are the revealed world, meaning from God comes everything. From the name of God comes everything. So the two basic worlds, hidden. The higher worlds are hidden, more spiritual, more abstract. The physical world, and even spiritual and more real in what we would call real. They're revealed worlds. Is the Vav and the He of Hashem's name. Now, specifically, what we're talking about over here, that's in general the two, but the He, which refers to Bina, Bina's understanding. Why would that be hidden? Because it's in your head, it's in your brain, your understanding of something. It's hidden from everyone. Generally, intelligence is hidden, right? Because it's within you. How do you know? How do you know that there's any intelligence in a person when they speak? You could see. That's the final hey, malchus. That's called revealed. Oh, it's concealed inside me before I speak and revealed outside of me to you, to someone else, when I speak it. That's the attribute of malchus above. Excuse me. So that's what it means, right? That's what it means in the series that you're drawing down from the hidden world. The blessing means from the hidden world, right? In other words, in the hidden world, you have this blessing, shall we say, but it's hidden. You don't want it hidden. Just like you don't want your intelligence just to remain in your head, right? Your understanding of something just in your thoughts. It's actually not even thoughts, because that's a garment, right? That's not an attribute. That's an expression even. But you don't want it just in your brain, in your right. You want to reveal that blessing. Well, that's the idea coming from the hidden world, the drawing down from Bina to Malchus, to kingship, royalty, the 10th of the 10 divine attributes, as a king serves, or rather rules with his word. That's the revealed world. In in the name. So, in the name of God, which this name over here, Havaya Tetragrammaton. So there's a higher form of this and a lower form of this. The same name, but representing in a higher part of creation, a lower part of creation. So the higher part of creation, right? And we're talking about that you're taking from the higher, and blessing means you're bringing it into the lower, right? So we just explained that in the spheres, in the divine attributes. Now we're explaining it in the name of God himself. So you have Havaya de Leila, the supernal name of Havaya, and then you have Havaya de Latata, the lower name. What is the difference? They express, one expresses the way God encompasses all of creation, just like Kesser, crown, encompasses the head, right? Kesser, crown, the crown, which refers to the divine pleasure and divine will of God that's beyond the individual, that it hovers over, just as a crown physically hovers over the brain, so it hovers over the bina, the understanding of the mind. Right? Kesser, beyond bina. It's a bit Kabbalistic here, but that's okay. Right? So it's understanding something reveals the will of the person. Understanding the will that you have reveals your will. Bina reveals Kesser. That's a revelation of encompassing light of God beyond the world. Then you'll have the same name of Tetragrammaton, God's name, because remember, after all, God is responsible for all of creation, all details of creation. So there's God the way he transcends creation, how we just described that. Then we have God the way he is immanent within creation. And that would be emotions, right? When are you present? When are you immanent? When are you there? Is that when you are vulnerable? You're really present. You're not transcendent there, right? You're very present. You're very revealing. So your words reveal your feelings. That's the way you are, very fully present. That's mamale. The way godliness fills the world. So in the idea of blessing, then, blessing, the word blessing in Hebrew, bracha, the idea of bracha, a blessing. A blessing means to draw down, in this instance, from the higher level of the name of Havaya of the Tetragrammaton, and draw it down to be revealed in the lower name of God's name, Tetragrammaton, Shem Havaya. Right, because the whole idea of blessing means to take from a higher place and bring it to a lower place. Bracha comes from the word hamavrich zegefen. We actually learned this in Maimonides' Rambam teachings. Drawing the vine. Vines, sometimes you take it and you draw it down and plant it. So it means to take from something higher and bring it lower. That's what a blessing is. So just explaining it on all different dimensions, this divine attributes of God, the divine name of God, in the worlds, right? The hidden to the revealed worlds. Okay. Right. And so then the blessing becomes how you bring and unite these two different elements: transcendence, eminence of God in God's name, the hidden world with the revealed world, and divine Bina understanding with Malchus, uh, divine, the divine word. Okay. So, so accordingly, the our divine service, which divine service means we awaken something greater than us through our divine service, the divine beyond us. Right? We draw down through what we do. That's what divine service means. Divine service means, and it's very important, it, it's not it's not merely, we're doing something that God wants us to do, whether being charitable, whether praying, putting on tefillin, you know, uh, lighting Shabbos candles, whatever, that God needs and wants from us. But through the divine service, we're actually eliciting divine, divine energy, divine light, divine blessings from above. That's what it means to serve God. So when we elicit something from on high, we need to sort of mirror that which we're going to elicit. So what does that mean? So in order to bring a blessing and to draw down from the hidden world, hidden world means it's a very lofty spiritual world where it's sort of almost like a treasure house of things for us individually, collectively, but individually. Blessing means you're drawing it from there and you're bringing it down into a reality down here. Meaning, um, like for example, let's say a person's having difficulty with livelihood. They, they don't have, they need help. So when you bless somebody, the idea of blessing is that in your treasure house, in the hidden world above, the way it is encompassing this world, beyond, transcendent of this world, the wealth is there. It just hasn't been accessed and been drawn down from that hidden world into this revealed world. And that's a concept of blessing, to draw that down. So that means I need some kind of divine service that is similar to that which I'm trying to affect, to draw down from above. That's what we're saying, right? It needs to be something comparable, reflecting that which we're trying to draw down through our divine service. So says the Rebbe that what would that be? It means to love God with all your soul. What does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean to love God with all your soul. That we're gonna have to wait. So then realize the time. We gotta go now daven and bring down the blessings. Tomorrow we'll continue. All right, folks. God bless. Thank you.